In other world news, Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have denied responsibility for the killing of the West Darfur regional governor. The army earlier said the paramilitary group had killed Khamis Abbabakr in Geneina. Earlier, Abakar had described the situation in the city as a genocide. The latest conflict between the army and paramilitary has reignited long-running ethnic tensions in the Western Darfur region. Let's speak to Al Jazeera's Zein Basravi now, who's in Chad, in the border town of Adre, where thousands of people have been fleeing the violence in West Darfur. Zein, I know you've been speaking to people who've come from across the border there, and I'll ask you about what they've been telling you in just a moment.
I don't know if you can hear me. I seem to have lost connection, but if you can, I will go ahead and tell you that the death of that senior official, in West Darfur has changed something at this border crossing today. Something has changed. It has prompted what seems like an exodus of Geneina, of people filing out of the city in larger numbers than we've seen in the past, certainly exhibiting signs of serious injuries. We're just looking at someone crossing in now, clearly who has suffered serious injuries. People that arrive here need immediate care. They need immediate medical attention. They arrive in grave condition. Another thing that's changed is we are seeing more men and more boys seemingly leaving the fight in Geneina. Now, whether they are members of this tribe or that, whether they are security forces or civilian, whether they are police or soldiers or fighters of any kind, it doesn't seem to matter here. Men, women, children, everybody here is showing serious signs of human suffering, of going through the experience of the siege of a city in this current century. Now, another thing that has changed is there are no cars on the other side of the border bringing people across. Everyone's on foot, many of them totally barefoot, and no one is crossing with belongings. Here, there was a kind of war economy in place on the Chadian side, where people with horses and carts, people with taxis would show up to ferry people with what belongings they had into the safety of Chad. That is no longer happening. People here say it is too unsafe. We've been hearing intermittent and at times sustained gunfire, the sound of heavy weapons as well. So there is active fighting still. We can hear it from where we are. And security has been beefed up by the Chadian government, north and south of this crossing point, concerned about the violence in Geneina, as seemingly Geneina begins to fall into the hands of the militias, perhaps completely. We are seeing the Chadian security on the border being beefed up. The hope is that it doesn't go any further than Geneina next.
Zein, thank you. Zein Basravi live there in Adre, Chad.